graph f of x equals x squared minus 1 using transformations. Okay, so what's the parent function here?
The parent function,
Yeah.
x2.
Yeah, y equals x squared. And do you want to make a table, or do you just want us to graph it without making a table? Do you want to make a table to graph it, or just go right to the graph?
A table to graph it.
Okay. All right, so let's do that first then. So the table is we start with x and y equals x squared. And there's those 5 points that we've talked about over and over again. And these 5 outputs on the right. So x squared minus 1 though. Okay, that affects the y value. So all of these y values, we're going to subtract 1 from them. That's what this means over here on the right. So
Yeah.
each of these y values, the x values will stay the same. Each of the y values, we're going to subtract 1. So that's 3, 0, -1, 0, and 3. Is that okay? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to graph this. And we're just graphing the points, -2, 3, -1, 0, 0, -1, 1, 0, and 2, 3. So for sure, you want to get down this graph on the right. Like you have to get this on your paper. I know there's not a lot of room. So if you're doing this on another piece of paper, you can
I'm
obviously
doing
have
in my notebook.
Great.
Okay, I'll just graph it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, you got that down? Great. Okay, so we'll move on to part B. And this is what you said, hey, Matthew, we're working on this today, average rate of change. Okay.
Yeah.
And average rate of change, let me snip this in, is it's slope. It's nothing different than you've seen before, but it appears different. So they want the average rate of change between x equals 2 and x equals 4. So the average rate of change, it's sometimes written like this, AROC. Maybe you saw that in class today.
No, I haven't seen that.
Didn't see that. So that's just this word right here, shorthand. And there's a formula here. So the formula is f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So this is a formula here. We're going to use this over and over again today. So it's one of those things to remember here. So in your problem, your a is 2, your b is 4, and your f of x is x squared minus 1. So we're just going to do this in pieces. So we need to find f of 4. F of 4. And f of 4 comes from f of x. Let me write f of x above it. F of x is x squared minus 1. F of 4 is putting 4 in for x, 4 squared minus 1, 13.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 15.
Is that the formula?
We're gonna take 4 numbers and put them into this formula. Okay, so now the next thing we need to find is f of 2.
Okay.
And that's 2 squared minus 1. You're just putting 2 in for x, and that's 3. Okay, so the average rate of change for your problem is f of 4, that's b, minus f of 2, that's a, over 4 minus 2. So see how b and b match, a and a match?
Yeah.
So we just calculated the numbers. Do you see that f of 4 is over here, 15? We just calculated f of 4 right here.
Yeah.
So that's 15. So you get the number and then you just put it into the formula. What is f of 2? Well, we just calculated that. That's 3. What is 4 minus 2? 2.
Okay.
So we took this number there, 3 there.
Okay. And equals.
So what is 15 minus 3? 12 over 2, which is 6. Okay. So when it says find the average rate of change, like it's looking for this final number, the average rate of change is 6. That's your final answer here, with all of this work shown.
Yeah,
Everything
I wrote the work already.
Okay, everything on there has to be shown.
Yeah, it's already did.
All right, now the next part says sketch the secant line, the line connecting the 2 points on your graph. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and made the graph for you. I'm going to snip this in. It'll be nicer than what we've looked at before. All right, so here's the graph. Okay, so there's the 2 points. There's 2, 3. And there's 4, 15. Those are the 2 points they wanted. So if you were to get your ruler out, which we don't use very often, and you were to draw a line connecting these 2 points, it would look something like this. Do you see that?
Yeah, yeah.
You just connect the points. Okay, so are you ready to do question C, 1C?
So wait, do I have to draw that line?
Yes, because it says, if you look up here, it says sketch the secant line, the line connecting the 2 points on your graph. So you want to make a graph connecting the 2 points.
So what are the points?
2, 3 and 4, 15. So if you look up, see how we found f of 4 is 15 and f of 2 is 3. That's how these points come about.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, so now we can move on to part 1C. So 1C is a totally different function, but they want you to graph it using transformations. You snip this in here. Graph g of x equals 2 to the x minus 1 using transformations. What is the parent function?
The parent function, it is 2/3 and 4/5, 15.
No, the parent function is whatever this like main graph is.
2x.
2 to the x, yeah, very good. Okay, so we're gonna make a table. Here's x. Here's 2 to the x, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, and 2. So if you recall, the points that you divide by 2 each time. So this is 1/2 and this is 1/4. And then when we want to find 2 to the x minus 1, this minus 1 affects the y value. So all of these y values that you see here on the right, they're going to be subtracted by 1. Okay, so the x values stay the same. So we'll just start with the easy ones, like 4 minus 1 is 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Now it gets a little harder, right? 1/2 minus 1, 1/2 minus 1. You have to make a common denominator. Negative 1/2.
Yeah,
And then
let me just
similarly,
let me just write. Let me just write.
sure, let me finish up this last one here.
Okay.
All right, do you have all this down?
Yeah, I have the graphs down.
The tables, these are tables. We're gonna
Tables.
graph it
I already
next. Yeah.
got the tables down.
Yeah, so make a quick graph here. 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, and then something like this. So this graph looks like this, where it kind of rises to the right.
Yeah, I'm just putting it down.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to average rate of change, and that's probably the most important thing that we're doing today. I think we're actually going to need to spend a little more time doing just average rate of change, because this going back and forth probably isn't very helpful. So average rate of change is a formula. It's f of b minus f of a over b minus a. And what that means is you need an a and a b. You have to have an a and a b. Well, there's your a and there's your b. And then you need a function. In this case, it's 2 to the x minus 1. So you have a function. Your function is 2 to the x minus 1. So we're going to
Okay,
find.
I'm just going to the next page
Okay.
in my notebook, not in the
Right,
real
right,
paper.
right. So we're going to find f of 4 whenever you're ready. It's just taking this value and plugging it in for x.
Okay. Okay, got it then.
All right, so what is 2 to the 4th minus 1? So we have first to figure out what 2 to the 4th is.
15.
That's right. This whole thing is 15. Very good.
Mhm.
So the next one is f of 2 because a is 2. So that's 2 to the 2 minus 1.
Okay.
Okay, and that's 3. So now we're ready to find our average rate of change. Okay, so that's f of 4 minus f of 2 over 4 minus 2. So now we just have to take the numbers we already found and put them into this equation. So 15 minus 3 over 4 minus 2.
Yeah. Equals 6.
Right, 12 over 2, which equals 6. Good. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do part E, which is a graph again. So let me go ahead and graph this, and because I think it'll help to see a nice graph of it.
Sketch the seam line.
Secant line, yeah.
Yeah. So what do I sketch for seam line?
Well, I'm going to graph it for you. So just give me a moment here to get that up.
Okay.
All right, so let's move this one down. So we got 0.2, 3, 415. Okay. So I think what your instructor is trying to show you is that they're the same. I don't know why they're trying to show you that, but
Okay.
okay, so there's the 2 points, and then here's the secant line between them.
Okay, got it down. So now we're in E.
Yeah, so it says, why are they different? Let me go back up here. I thought they were the same. So they sure look the same. So I don't know why your instructor wrote those there the same.
Okay. It's okay. Maybe we will not do E, right?
Well, we did do E. They're the same.
Okay.
They're not different. Like if you look up here at what we got for the previous one, 6,
Okay.
and then this is also
All right. So we're number 2.
yeah. No, I'm concerned that there is some missing understanding of average rate of change. I'd like to just choose a quick function here, see if we can get this knocked out. So let's say f of x is x squared, and I want the average rate of change from 1 to 3. So there's 4 things that you need.
But fx equals 2x.
I understand that. We're going to do a different problem for the time being. So what is f of 3 in this example? What is 3 to the power of 2?
Okay. Do I have to write it down?
No, you just have to tell me the answer here.
9.
9. Okay. And what is f of 1?
1.
Right. So see, I'm just putting the number in here. So the average rate of change formula is f of 3 minus f of 1. Do you see where those go? Over 3 minus 1. Do you see how these match? 3 matches with 3, 1 matches with 1. So that's 9 minus 1 over.
Do I have to write that?
No, you don't have to write any of this, but I am going to ask you to do an example on your own here after this. What is 9 minus 1 over 3 minus
9
1?
minus 1 is 8. 3 minus 1 is 2.
Okay.
It's 4 and
Perfect. Okay. So we're going to use the same function. Okay. But I want you to find the average rate of change from 1 to 4.
from 1 to 4.
Yes.
And so for 1 to 4, do I have to write in my notebook?
Nope. You don't have to write anything down. I want to either get the final answer from you
All right.
or
That right there is f 4. So 4 2, and that is 16. And then for 1 1.
okay.
Yeah.
Let me know when you have your final answer. Like imagine there's a box here with the final answer.
F4 minus F1, 4 minus 1.
I just want a single number for your final answer. It's just like this problem above, except it's different numbers. It's actually only one different number. Instead of 3, it's 4. I think you started off by saying f of 4 is 4 squared is 16. That's right. That's a good start. That's the first step.
Yeah, because I think in my mind. So yeah, 15 and 3, and then equals 5.
So your final answer is
5.
okay. All right. Let's check your work here. So let's go f of 4 is 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. F of 1. Do you see how you have to use both of these numbers in f and x? Okay. So then the average rate of change is 16 minus 1 over 4 minus 1, 15 over 3, which is 5.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more here. Let's change it up just a little bit here. Let's say f of x equals 3 to the x. And I want the average rate of change from 1 to 2. So it's a different function, but it's the same steps. You got to evaluate the function at both of these points. And again, the final answer is just a number. So give me that number whenever you think you got it. How are you doing on this one?
Oh, sorry.
Are you do you need some help, or are you
Yeah,
almost there?
no. There was like you just scared me. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I think I know the answer. I know the answer.
What's your answer?
Zero.
Okay. All right, so let's try this out here. F of 2 is 3 to the power of 2. What is 3 to the power of 2? What is 3 times 3?
9.
9. What is f of 1? That means to put 1 in for x. What is 3 to the power of 1?
3 to the power of 1, 3.
Great. So the average rate of change is 9 minus 3 over, what goes on the bottom here? It's these two numbers here, 2 minus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what is 9 minus 3?
6.
Over 1. So we're going to change this 0 to
Okay.
6.
Yeah. And that's 6.
Yes. All right, so let's go back to your worksheet here. And I don't know why that graphed up there. All right, so it says question number 2. We're back on your worksheet.
Okay.
It says graph f of x equals 2 to the x using transformations. So the parent function here, parent function is y equals x.
Yeah.
Y equals x means that x and y are the same values. Whatever x is, that's what y is. Whatever y is, that's what x is. They're the same. 2 to the x though, 2 to the x means, or 2 times x means you're doubling the x value. You're doubling the y value, sorry. So these values on the right, you're going to double. That's what 2 times them means. Whatever x is, you double it.
Okay.
So when you double -2, that's -4. When you double -1, that's -2. When you double 0, that's 0. When you double 1, that's 2. When you double 2, that's 4. And you want to get as much of this down as you want, but the main thing is that we graph this correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So you got -2, -4, -1, -2, 0, 0, 1, 2, and 2, 4. So you see this nice straight
I'm writing it
line.
down, I'm writing it down. Okay, got it.
Okay, I'm going to snip in the next question. Okay, so it says find the average rate of change between -4 and 0 on the graph. So this time it's the average rate of change, f of x equals 2x from -4 to 0. Okay, so you've got to find f of -4. And then you also need to find f of 0. Can you find those two values for me?
Yeah, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. Do I have to write that?
Yes, you want to write all of this.
Okay.
All right, what is your value for
I'm
f
almost
of
done. I need
-4?
to finish. I need to finish. Okay, one, it's a negative exponent.
What is the value that goes right here?
4.
Well, you put -4 in for x, so it's 2 times -4. What is 2 times -4?
-8.
Okay, and then how about the next one? You're taking 0 and you're putting it in for X. What is 2 times 0?
Okay, let me just write it. Let me just write it. Zero.
Yes, it's 0. So the average rate of change formula is f of 0, it's the second number, minus f of -4 over 0 minus -4. Okay, so you definitely want to write this down, and then we're just going to substitute the numbers in.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. All right.
all right, we got to finish this up. We got to get the
Yeah.
numbers in.
So a -8 minus 1, 0 minus 1.
So 0, the f of 0 is 0. F of -4 is -8. And then on the bottom here, it's still 0 minus a -4. So that's 8 over 4, which is 2.
Is that 4?
Yes.
Okay. I thought it was like a 1. Okay. Got it down.
All right, we gotta, I'm concerned this average rate of change still isn't getting hold. So let's try this, just a couple more problems here. Let's say I want the average rate of change for f of x equals 2x from 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Right. So the first thing you got to find is f of 5. You got to take this second number, and put it in for x.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do I have to write that?
No, you don't have to write any of this. I'm concerned that I'm not giving you what you want, which is you really want to understand this, and we need to do
But
some,
that's for my homework because there's gonna be a test coming out, but I don't know when.
right. So let's keep doing this example and see if you can work through it.
Yeah. That one is 10, and then it's
Right.
10 right there, and then
F of 1 is 2
1
times 1.
is 2.
Okay, and then average rate of change, you take this this first number, 10 minus 2 over 5 minus 1.
Yeah, 10 minus 2 and then 5 minus 1. Yep. Okay, and 8, 4, it's 2.
Good. Okay, so let's just do one more here. Average rate of change for f of x equals 2x from -2 to 1.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay,
Good.
so you got to first find f of 1, because that's this number right here. You find that first. Then f of -2. So give me those numbers here.
All right, I have to write that.
You don't have to write any of this. I want you, though, to work through this problem, which means you probably need to write it down on your own.
It's not, it's okay not to write that down. Maybe it's okay just to write in a different one.
Okay. What is f of 1, though?
F of 1, you remember F of 1 is 1, 2, 1, and it equals 2.
Okay, how about f of -2? 2 times -2.
Yep.
What is
2
that?
times -2. 2 times -2, it is -4.
-4. Okay, now the average rate of change comes from those two numbers. You take the first number, 2 minus -4 over, and then you go back to these numbers you started with. 1 minus -2. What is 2 minus -4? 6 over 1 minus -2, that's 3, and that's 2.
Okay.
All right, why don't you grab your dad? So you want to chat a little bit at the end here? Why don't you go and grab him, and we'll
Wait, what
pick up.
about the word? We can continue it at Thursday?
Yeah, we'll continue on Thursday with the rest
All
of
right,
the
I'll
worksheet.
save it in my notes.
Great.
Okay, Dad? Thank you, Matthew.
You're welcome.
Hello, hi.
Hi, Dr. Guthari. We worked through a couple of problems on his practice worksheet tonight. I think you mentioned before he has some challenges with like complex sentences and things like that. And this average rate of change, you have to use these numbers in this place, and then use it again down here. And then same thing with this other number. Maybe you already know this, but I'm concerned that there's just a limited understanding of this for him, that he's following along, but I just don't know that he could do this on his own yet. So
Okay.
we'll just keep working on it next time.
Yeah.
There's still kind of this like, hey, what, do I write this down? Do I not write this down? But
Okay.
like I want him to write everything down, obviously, because I want him to have his notes. Maybe he'll look at them. If he's got time, it'd be always good if he can look back at the screen recording.
Yeah.
But we'll just do some more practice on Thursday, and
Yeah.
there's a bunch more questions, so plenty of opportunity to keep learning
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I agree. I think, it's a practice, he has to keep practicing and learn in a hard way. He has to work hard and
Yeah, he was great though. Great to work with tonight. I think we're back to doing basically the
Yeah,
first question.
Matthew, we can continue more of it on Thursday.
Absolutely. Yes. Things are
So-
going really well in terms of like, I think like you're getting quality out of this. It's just this is a complex thing, I think, for what you told me before, and I
right.
just see that there's going to be a gap there, and we're going to try and close that gap, best we can.
Yeah, I think if you keep working with him, eventually you will understand and you will do himself and move forward.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all I got for tonight. So I'll see you guys on Thursday, and hope
Okay,
you have a
yeah.
great few days between now and then.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Bye, Matthew.
Bye, Sourish.